Monopoly market. Monopoly market, this is a situation in which the market, when one firms control the whole supply of the commodity and there is no close substitute of that commodity. Or we actually define as a market structure in which there is only one producer or seller of a product. So from this monopoly market, we may consider an example of a monopoly. For example, in Kenya, we are the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, KEPLSC. That is a monopoly in the supply of electricity in Kenya. In Tanzania, electricity supply company, we have what is known as TANESCO. These are the good examples for a monopoly that exist. And different other kinds of monopoly in different countries. You may take your case of any company to your government or to your state country. So in Tanzania, we have a monopoly company that is TANESCO, and in Kenya, we have also the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, KPLC. So after understanding that, let's talk about the features or the characteristics or the conditions exist under monopoly market. A monopoly market is covered with the following features. The first feature or characteristics is that there is only one producer or supplier called monopolists. The single producer may be an individual or a group of persons or the government. The commodity produced by the monopolists has no close substitute. So pure monopoly exists if a producer controls the quantity of output of a product which has no close substitute. So in this case now, the monopolist produce no close substitute. The monopolist produces a low amount of output in order to keep price higher than those which exist under the condition of the price, under the condition of the price under condition of the pure and the perfect competition. As you can observe, but also another feature is that the distinction between the firms and the industry disappear because it's only one firm which constitutes the all industries. But also a firm is a price maker, which means that it has a capability to decide a price that maximizes profit. Another feature is that a monopolist earns a supernormal profit because of the barriers of the entry for firms in the market. So a monopolist charges a higher price and then earn a supernormal profit. But also the monopolist can raise or reduce the price depending on the amount of profit and the volume of the sales he wants to make. So the monopolist can raise or reduce the price depending on the amount of profit and the volume of sales that he wants to make. How does monopoly rise? We look on the causes of monopoly. The first reason for the rise of monopoly is legal restriction by the government. The government may give an autonomy to a firms to supply in a whole of the market a certain commodity, hence now may restrict other firms from supplying the same commodity. For example, Tanzania Electric Supply Company TANESCO in Tanzania. So the legal restriction by the government, we talk about the regulations that are established in Tanzania that control the business or the companies in the given country. So if there is any regulation that allow for existence of monopoly or give an autonomy to other firms, the big firms to operate and other firms, that may be the reason. The patent rights also. All rights, the patent rights, these are rights that arise when a certain firm owns a technology which enables the firms to be the sole control of the production of a certain commodity. By using that particular technology, for example, the Coca-Cola company is the owner of the formula of producing the product. So the company therefore has a monopoly power of producing Coca-Cola products throughout the world, and there is no another competitor company like the Coca-Cola. Also the natural monopoly of resources. So some monopolies may arise naturally due to the reasons that such that availability of sources of raw materials that are not found in other places or areas. For example, Tanzania is a monopoly producer of Tanzanite because the mineral is found only in Tanzania. Also, advertisement. When a firm uses a lot of resources to advertise products while other firms cannot do so, it may rise to a monopoly. Protectionism also. This is where the foreign trade barriers are imposed on the product to exclude foreign competition. In such cases now, the domestic producers becomes a monopolist. So that's a particular firm wins the whole market and becomes a monopoly producer of that commodity. Also, the cost of production. If a production of a certain commodity requires a huge initial capital, many firms may fail to enter into the market. Therefore, now this will cause a monopoly for a firm who is capable, who has enough capital. Hence, now charged according to the uses into which the commodity is put. For example, electricity is usually sold cheaper for industry uses than for domestic purpose. So, price discrimination is possible because of the variation in the intensities of the demand for the same commodity.